English grammar, transformation of sentences, simple, compound, and complex. Children, we have already learned how to identify simple sentence, compound sentence, and a complex sentence. There is a video on it. A simple sentence is a sentence which has one subject and a verb, or it is one independent clause. A compound sentence consists of two or more main clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions. A complex sentence consists of a main clause and joined by a subordinate clause. Subordinating conjunctions introduce subordinate clause, or subordinating conjunctions are used to form complex sentence. Let us now learn how to transform simple sentence to compound and vice versa, compound to complex and vice versa. Let us begin with simple sentence to compound. To change simple sentence to compound, use the coordinating conjunctions. The coordinating conjunctions: fanboys, F for, A for an, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, S for so. You can also use either or, neither nor, and so, therefore. Enlarge certain words or phrases into main clauses. The first sentence, she came here to see me. This is a simple sentence. There is a subject here, she, and came, one verb. So it is a simple sentence. We have to make it into the compound sentence. We are using the coordinating conjunction and. She came here and she saw me. So to see me, you have enlarged it as she saw me. The second one, in spite of his hard work, the boy did not succeed. It's a simple sentence. Now, whenever there is in spite of or despite of, then you will use but to form the compound sentence. So the answer in the compound sentence will be the boy worked hard, but he didn't succeed. The third example, completing their work for the day, the carpenters went home. Simple sentence here. This completing is a participle, a present participle. So when there is a present participle, then again you use and. So the answer in the compound sentence, the carpenters completed their work and went home. Transformation of compound sentence to simple sentence. To change a compound sentence into a simple sentence, cut short the additional clauses into certain words and phrases using the infinitive, to, present participle, the ing form, or the perfect participle. The first sentence, he finished his exercise and put away his books. This is a compound sentence. You see, joined by the coordinating conjunction and. Two main clauses. He finished his exercise. Put away his books is also a main clause that he has to be understood. So two main clauses joined by and, it makes it a compound sentence. So you have to cut short the additional clause into certain words and phrases. So we have to use the infinitive, the participle, present participle, or perfect participle. So here we have used the perfect participle. Having finished is a perfect participle. So having finished his exercise, he put away his books. Simple sentence. The second example, we must eat or we cannot live. This is also a compound sentence. See two main clauses. We must eat, we cannot live, joined by or, the coordinating conjunction. Therefore, it is a compound sentence. We have to make it simple. So you use the infinitive, to. So you make it to live. We must eat to live. The third sentence, they were poor and often suffered great hardship. Compound. They were poor, main clause. They often suffered great hardship is the second main clause, joined by and. Therefore, this sentence, they were poor and often suffered great hardship, is a compound sentence. And you change it into the simple by using the ing form of the verb or the present participle. So you use being. Being poor, they suffered great hardship. Simple sentence. Transforming simple sentence to complex sentence. To change a simple sentence into a complex sentence, expand a word or a phrase into a subordinate clause. Noun, adjective, or adverb clause. Use the subordinating conjunctions after, while, when, where, until, since, that, as, because, before, though, etc. There is a video on subordinating conjunctions. So refer to that video to know the list of subordinating conjunctions. So to change a simple sentence into a complex sentence, you will have to expand the word or the phrase into a subordinate clause. The clause could be a noun clause, an adjective clause, or an adverb clause, and you will have to use subordinating conjunctions. The first sentence, he confessed his crime. This is a simple sentence. So you will have to use a subordinating conjunction, turn it into a complex sentence, turn it into a clause. So here, he confessed that he was guilty. He bought his uncle's library. Simple sentence. He bought the library which belonged to his uncle. Complex sentence. So this is an adjective clause. Here this is a noun clause. He worked hard to pass the examination. Simple sentence. He worked hard that he might pass the examination. Complex. In his boyhood, Lincoln did not go to school. Simple sentence. The complex sentence, when Lincoln was a boy, he did not go to school. Complex sentence into simple sentence. A complex sentence can be changed into a simple sentence by changing the noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause to a word or phrase using the infinitive to, present participle, the ing form of the verb, or perfect participle like having done, having finished, having eaten. That's the perfect participle. The first sentence, I have no money that I can lend you. This is a complex sentence. I have no money, main clause, that I can lend you is the subordinate clause. So it's a complex sentence. We have to make it into simple. I have no money to lend you. So I have used the infinitive. That I can lend you has changed to lend you. So I have no money to lend you is a simple sentence. The second example, when he saw the police, he ran away. This is a complex sentence. Main clause. He ran away when he saw the police is the subordinate clause. So it's a complex sentence. We have to make it simple. Here we have used the present participle, the ing form of the verb. So saw, we have done it see. On seeing the police, he ran away. Simple sentence. The next example, he admitted that he was guilty. Complex. He admitted, main clause, that he was guilty, subordinate clause. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. Simple, we have to change the clause to a word or a phrase. So, we have made it as he admitted that he was guilty. We have made it into his guilt. He admitted his guilt. Simple sentence. This is the place where the meeting will be held. Complex. This is the place, main clause, where the meeting will be held, subordinate clause. Therefore, it's a complex sentence. So, we have changed it into the simple by changing the clause to a word or a phrase. We have to shorten it. So, we have to write it as this is the venue of the meeting. So, instead of place, I have written venue. You can also keep it as place. This is the place of the meeting, or this is the venue of the meeting. Transforming compound sentence into complex sentence. To change a compound sentence into complex, retain one principal clause or main clause, convert the other principal clause or main clause into a subordinate clause, use subordinating conjunctions. The first sentence, search his pockets and you will find the watch. It's a compound sentence. See, we have two principal clauses joined by this coordinating conjunction and we have to make it into complex. So we retain one or we keep one main clause and the other main clause, you will convert it into a subordinate clause. So, if you search his pockets, you will find the watch. So, what have we? You will find the watch. We have retained this as one clause. And you have added, if you search his pockets. So, you have converted search his pockets to if you search his pockets. You have made that into a subordinate clause. Therefore, this is a complex sentence. Here, you will find the watch, main clause. If you search his pocket is the subordinate clause. The second example, Gandhiji believed in non-violence, but some of the followers became violent. You see, there are two main clauses. Gandhiji believed in non-violence. Some of the followers became violent. This is the coordinating conjunction but. So two main clauses joined by but makes it a compound sentence. So you have to use though here. Though Gandhiji believed in non-violence, some of the followers became violent. It's a complex sentence. So this is the main clause. Some of the followers became violent. Main clause. Though Gandhiji believed in non-violence is the subordinate clause. Some more examples of transforming compound sentence into complex. He tried his best, but he didn't succeed. So there are two main clauses. He tried his best, he didn't succeed, joined by but. This is a compound sentence. We make it into complex by using though. So though he tried his best, he didn't succeed. So he didn't succeed becomes the main clause, and though he tried his best will become the subordinate clause. The second example, the clown entered the circus ring and the children started clapping. This is a compound sentence. You see, the clown entered the circus ring, one main clause, the children started clapping, another main clause joined by and. So it's a compound sentence. Now you have to make it into complex. So we write it as when the clown entered the circus ring, the children started clapping. So this you have retained. The children started clapping is the main clause. When the clown entered the circus ring is the subordinate clause. So it becomes a complex sentence. You have to hurry or you will miss the bus. So this is a compound sentence. You have to hurry, one main clause, you will miss the bus, another main clause joined by or. It's a compound sentence. You have to make it complex. Whenever there is or, you will begin with if. So if you do not hurry, you will miss the bus. So what we have retained, you will miss the bus. We have kept that as the main clause. And if you do not hurry is the subordinate clause. So this is a complex sentence. Next, leprosy is curable and everybody knows this. So leprosy is curable, main clause. Everybody knows this, another main clause joined by and. This is a compound sentence. We have to make it into a complex sentence. So it is written as everybody knows that leprosy is curable. So everybody knows, we have retained it and we have used that, the subordinating conjunction, that leprosy is curable. So this becomes the subordinate clause. Therefore, this sentence is a complex sentence. He is a magician from Turkey and he has performed all over the world. He is a magician from Turkey. He has performed all over the world. Two main clauses joined by and. It's a compound sentence. We have to make it complex. He is a magician from Turkey who has performed all over the world. So you see, here we have made it into an adjective clause by adding who. So this we have retained. He is a magician from Turkey, main clause. Who has performed all over the world is the subordinate clause. Therefore, this is a complex sentence. Transforming complex sentences to compound sentences. The first example, if you do not hurry, you will miss the bus. This is a complex sentence. We know you will miss the bus is the main clause. If you do not hurry is the subordinate clause. We have to make it into a compound sentence. Use a coordinating conjunction. So you must hurry or you will miss the bus. If it begins with if in the complex, then you always will use the coordinating conjunction or. The next example, we sow that we may reap. This is a complex sentence. We sow, main clause. That we may reap is the subordinate clause. Now, here in this sentence, we have to change it into the compound. So we have used the coordinating conjunction. Therefore, we desire to reap. Therefore, we sow. Or you could also say we want to reap. Therefore, we sow. The next example, I am certain that you have made a mistake. Complex sentence. I am certain, main clause. That you have made a mistake is the subordinate clause. This is a complex sentence. We have to make it into compound. So here we have used and as the coordinating conjunction. So you have made a mistake and of this I am certain. This is a compound sentence. Children, I have already explained to you how to transform simple to complex or simple to compound and vice versa. This is just put in a tabular form, a few rules to remember. It's the same thing what I have explained earlier, but it's only put in the form of a table for you to remember. So if in the simple there is to, that is the infinitive, we read to learn, this is the infinitive to learn, then in the complex you will use the subordinating conjunction so that, and the sentence will be we read so that we can learn. In the compound you will use the coordinating conjunction and or, and the sentence will be we read and we learn. So just remember that if there is to, the complex subordinating conjunction you will use so that, and in the compound you will either use and or. The next rule, here again this was explained, sentences with in spite of and despite is explained to you. It's again put in a tabular form. So in the simple, if it is in spite of or despite, then in the complex you will use the subordinating conjunction either though or although, and in the compound you will use the coordinating conjunction but. So look at this sentence, despite being poor he is honest, or you could also write in spite of him being poor he is honest. So in the complex it goes though he is poor he is honest, and in the compound you're going to use but. So the sentences he is poor but he is honest. So remember, in spite of or despite, in the complex it will be though, although, and in the compound it will be but. Rule 3, in the simple sentence, verb plus ing form, it is being here. This was also explained. The sentence is being punished he wept. So in the complex you can either use since, as, or because. Here I have used as. So as he was punished he wept. And in the compound you will use and so or therefore. So the sentence is he was punished and so he wept, or you could say he was punished therefore he wept. So remember, when in the simple it begins with being or a verb and ing, then in the complex you will use the subordinating conjunction either since, as, or because, and in the compound you will use the coordinating conjunction and so or therefore. Rule 4, simple sentence, if there is a to construction, then in the complex you will use so that, cannot, or could not. In the compound you will use very and so. Look at this example, he is too weak to walk. This is a to construction. It is the adverb to. So in the complex you will write he is so weak that he cannot walk. In the compound he is very weak and so he cannot walk. Rule 5, in the simple sentence, if it begins with without, then in the complex you will use if or in case, and in the compound you will use or. You'll use the coordinating conjunction or. So the sentence reads, without reading you will fail. So in the complex, if you do not read you will fail. Read or you will fail. The next example, without working hard, you cannot succeed in life. If you do not work hard, you cannot succeed in life. Work hard or you will not succeed in life. So if in the simple there is without, then in the complex you will use if or in case, and in the compound you will use or. Rule 6, simple, complex, compound. Look at this sentence, it was a red ball. Now here there is an adjective. What kind of a ball? Red ball. So when there is an adjective, then in the complex you will either use that, which, or who. You will make it into an adjective clause. It was a ball which was red in color. In the compound you will use and. It was a ball and was red in color. Here again, I have an honest friend. Here again, you're making it into an adjective clause. I have a friend who is honest. And in the compound, I have a friend and he is honest. So remember, if there is an adjective, you make the complex into an adjective clause, and in the compound you will use and.